Welcome to another episode of Create a New Tomorrow. I'm your host, Gronich, and today I have with me a good dear friend, Rober Riopel. I am not using an intro speech or anything today because I have a very deep personal connection to this man. He was the first trainer at MMI, Millionaire Mind Institute, or Millionaire Mind Intensive, through Peak Potentials, that I went to a training that he did. It was his very first time being a solo trainer. And we had thousands of people in the audience, and this man killed it. He went on to train, I think it's over 500,000 people in business and life skills. This guy is incredible. And now he's doing this new project that I'm excited to talk to him about. But mostly, he's just a fantastic person for ideas. I mean, he's owned Domino's franchise. He married his high school sweetheart. I mean, that guy, who does that these days and stays married to them? He might have a secret or two. I don't know. Let's talk to him. Robert, share a little bit. Give me your intro.
Well, I'm just happy to be here because, as you know, I love to have fun. I believe there's way too many serious people on this planet, and life's too short not to have fun. And it's interesting that you brought up my high school sweetheart, because actually yesterday, on the time of recording of this, yesterday was our 32nd wedding anniversary. And so, yeah, met when we were 13, started dating when we were 16, got married when we were 19. I just started giving my age away. So, and I've been blessed. I'm international best-selling author, app designer, and entrepreneur, and I'm a trainer that's traveled the world. Before COVID, I was on average traveling 200,000 miles a year around the world doing training, and it's my passion. It's what I absolutely love to do, because a couple things happen. One, when a student comes up to you and says, "Hey, do you remember when you said this? Here's how it changed my life." Yeah, we're not going to talk about what you were telling me about. That's one of the greatest feelings in the world, is when you see that you're making an impact, because then you realize that maybe I've taught over 500,000 people personally, but now how exponentially did that grow by the people that they went back into their lives and impacted, and they then impacted, and they impacted. That's what gets me really jazzed and excited. So, for me, I'm a guy who does what I love and enjoys life, and helps as many people as I can.
Absolutely. I remember my dad standing in a telephone booth with a bag full of quarters and a telephone book, telemarketing, in the middle of orange groves in California, like in the middle of nowhere, orange groves. And I remember this. For him, it was one of his worst moments. For me, it was one of my best, because I saw the lengths to which my father loved me.
Yeah.
That's how I took it. He didn't show, he was very busy. He always trying to survive. So while he showed love, he was very busy. He was absent. And yet that act of doing that made me know that what he was doing was worth it. Like, he was doing it for us. And even though I felt that abandonment as a kid, I also saw why. And that was really powerful. So I like that you got that from your dad.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is it's both my parents went through health issues, and the other one would always step up when the other one was in the hospital, and work the two jobs and take care of the kids or what have you. And so I learned a lot of amazing things from my family, and it's made me who I am today. And I will always look at that and go, I'm grateful for that. Talk about the gratitude. I'm grateful.
It's weird, because I was talking to my son recently. He's 7, and I was teaching him a little bit about focus and how important being able to focus is. And it's interesting, because what you said about being present is what I said to him about focus. So he was at dinner and he was jumping up every bite. He had to go somewhere and do something and get distracted by somewhere and something.
Right.
And what I told him is, have you ever tried to be really present with your food? Really present with the flavors and the experience of it on your tongue, the smell as it's going down, the feeling in the back of your throat as you swallow, the chewing. Like, have you ever been really present with that? And it was interesting because that's a very similar thing to what you're saying, but being present with people, being present with anything is so difficult and requires a lot of focus. So do you have any like trips or ticks? Like how does somebody be present with somebody else without the background noise in their head? That's a good concept to say to somebody, but like practicality, let's get down to the practice. Like, how do they do that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it takes practice. Don't think that, Ari and Robert just told me that this is a great thing to do, so I just learned it. I should be good at it. I should be a pro at it, because that's how we sabotage ourselves, right? One of my favorite quotes, probably in Harv's book, my favorite quote of all: "Every master was once a disaster," which means you're going to be a disaster. You're going to go through a disaster stage. You got to practice, and that's what most people, they forget or choose not to do.
I was doing a hypnosis course, and it was a past life regression course, and the instructor was channeling a being or an entity named, I think, Miss Dr. Peabody or something like that. It was some weird name that I was like, oh, glad it wasn't Cleopatra. But because it always is, I'm Cleopatra in the form of, how many Cleopatras have you met? Anyway, so Mr. Peabody said, if you want to be enlightened, you gotta lighten up.
Yeah.
I went, oh right? My God, do I have a lot of practicing to do? Because I grew up, I'm a pretty serious person most of the time. And I got serious work to do to create a new tomorrow. And, it's like, and now I like, oh, breathe, dude, breathe. So, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
people have forgotten that living is about living, and that living is about breathing and breathing in life,
and
it's about stopping that joy of life.
You said about your son. What you said about your son is where he's modeling you. So when you talk to him about, being present, use that as a reminder for yourself to be present in that moment. Because every moment you're impacting people around you, whether you know it or not. And most people, you're impacting them not with what you're saying, but it's how you're acting, what you're doing, your way of being. And so if someone said, well, how do I create a better tomorrow? A new tomorrow? Well, just start with you. And then allow that example. Because is it going to impact a ton of people? Maybe not. Is it going to help even one person? Maybe not. But it will help you.
Right. I've been trying to rewrite the golden rule because I disagree completely with it, because we don't want people to treat us the way we treat ourselves. No, we want people to treat us the way we treat other people. So yeah. The golden rule has gotten a little shifty for me. But yeah, I mean, we definitely, the self-talk that is in most people's heads is so toxic. And I like that you're saying that, because one of the things that I do with trauma work a lot is mirrors. It's not about affirmations. Affirmations to me are like akin to motivation, which is almost nothing, right? Doesn't provide what it's supposed to for very long. But staring in the mirror for 300 hours, crying, screaming, wailing until you find the pieces of you that you love, until you strip the masks of inauthenticity from yourself, the masks of trauma. And I tell people, everything that you think about yourself is literally just a mask of trauma that you put on, or other people have put on you. And our goal is to strip those masks off of trauma so that we can be authentic.
Absolutely. And look, that's when I would do the mirror work, I started off with hair. By the time I removed everything, my hair was gone. I had good reasons. I had to go there. And if someone's just listening to this, because there may be people just doing the audio, they had to know I'm aerodynamic. I'm aerodynamic. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not short. I've been told I'm just more grounded, so I like that as well.
Closer to the earth, yes.
Yes.
Sure. Yes. You're just close to the earth. Mr. Clean. Where's the earring, Mr. Clean? That's all I want.
Yeah. Well, it could be this earbud that's in my ear. It just flipped up and goes in. It's multi-purpose today because Mr. Clean and the earring is so yesterday. You're talking about age. Come on now. Now it has to have multi-purpose.
I believe the law of attraction. We've had discussions, but the law of attraction to me is the movie, The Secret, all that stuff. It's a great beginning. It didn't finish, and it left people wanting, which is where I take offense to it.
Yes.
What I do like is The Science of Getting Rich, the book, The Science of Getting Rich, which is where all that LOA comes from originally back in 1908 or something like that. And I like that because it's a little more matter of fact, but it's all the same.
And you're right. The action's missing. That's what they think, oh, just think it. No, they've got to take action, which is absolutely true. I'm going to suggest you check out the movie Beyond the Secret. It's a follow-up. It just came out about a year and a half ago. And it brings back a lot of the secret guests where they were able to go deeper and the secret uncovered it, but let's go beyond the secret and, dive in deeper. So you might want to check that out. But what he noticed is he said, if you realize it, this social dilemma actually just unveiled the truth of the greatest law of attraction working in our favor. Because take a look at any social media you're doing. So it's tracking everything you do, and you're looking at your feed going, why am I getting all this? Because that's what you've been focusing on. He said, so if you don't like what's popping up, then change your focus.
I always do tips and tricks. We've done a lot of them, but give me 3 based on what we've talked about so far, just 3 really crystal clear that somebody can do tomorrow, action steps that they can do tomorrow, today, to change their lives, to create a new tomorrow and activate their vision for a better world.
Yeah. Number 1, become more present. Remember to take that deep breath, check in with yourself. How am I doing now? Honor that. Number 2, take one more step in the direction you want to go. And 3, be you.
Awesome. We're going to do this again. Hopefully, Canada will be open and we'll do this live somewhere where we could actually get in it, but
that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. But thank you so much. Where can people get a hold of you if they'd like to connect with you and learn more about how they could work with you?
Yeah. My Facebook fan page is the easiest way. And so on Facebook, just put my name in, Rober Riopel. You'll see my fan page. I can't take any more friends. Unfortunately, they got me maxed out. But on my fan page, if you follow it, you'll get tapped into a lot of my work. I am on LinkedIn and Instagram, I'm told now. So yeah, my VAs are getting that up. But also as a gift, I'd love for your listeners to get a copy of my book, Success Left a Clue, as the ebook version, as my gift to them for having me on your show.
Oh, that would be awesome. And we will make sure to get all your links and stuff like that so that it's going to be on the bottom of every posting for this. And we'll get you all that. So thank you so much. I'm sure that the audience will love that, because anything that we could do to create a new tomorrow today and activate our vision for a better world is what this show's about. So really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. This has been another crazy episode of Create a New Tomorrow. I'm your host, Gronich. Thank you so much for being here, and have an amazing weekend.